Heavy winds delayed the start of this race and prevented our cameramen from standing up on their posts to record the event, so the beginning part of the race was not filmed. However, we do have a brief summary of the events that took place. William Brock got his first career pole in the HARC USA Tour. He and several other drivers, including DJ Curtis, Jeffrey Finguy, and Nathan Ormond, were able to pull out to a huge lead and battle it out between the four of them out front. A couple drivers had some problems on track. Prince Orng in the number 13 had an incident on pit road, getting turned into the pit lane. He would pull out of the race and would not bring out a caution. But before that, James Silverfox in number 27, who had a good qualifying run, lost a motor, which was unfortunate for him. I believe an issue with the camshaft is what did him in. He would pull out of the race. Jeffrey Finguy led the majority of the laps in the early going, stealing the lead away from William Brock early on. After 66 laps of racing, we were able to rejoin coverage and get our cameramen into their positions to record the remainder of the race. DJ Curtis would steal the lead away from Jeffrey Finguy around lap 66 as they were battling with lap traffic. Maxwell Chan, car number 07, about to go a lap down to the number 33. DJ Curtis has been having a good run all race long. He's had a couple of solid efforts earlier in the year, but he's been mostly under the radar. He's hoping he can make something happen in the later stages of this season. Car number 92 is going to get underneath Maxwell Chan as well. There's Nathan Ormond in the 18 as well. He is a big underdog story going into this, as that car has had struggles all season long. Car diving low, that's Jeffrey Finguy, the 92, going for the lead. Struggled at his home race in Michigan, struggled in Wisconsin, and now here in New York, having a good run. Going underneath, Jeffrey Finguy would take the lead back. As we take a look at Tyler Thaber, your points leader, currently running 14th overall. Now, it's not the best that Tyler Thaber's run all season long, but that is a very consistent effort, and a lot of his competitors in the championship are behind him right now. Tyler Thaber's in a good position. If he can stay in this spot, he may not lose a lot of points. He may be able to keep that points lead for another week. Currently, he's playing it safe, not really battling anyone too hard. He's just kind of logging laps until we get to the late stages of this event. He's battling with drivers such as Tristan Wilhoit in the 16. Last week's winner, Rocco Twyman, is currently sitting in the 10th place position. Now, the first couple of events were bad for this team, both for Twyman and especially his teammate Grayson Acevedo, who's not had a good run at all this year. In fact, he's been near the bottom of the standings, sometimes even last. But Rocco Twyman is hoping that this could be the start of a hot streak. He wants to make that top 21 so he can qualify for the race at the end of the season when the Canadian and U.S. tours meet for the final event of both schedules. It would be kind of embarrassing if the winner of a race were to miss that top 21. Finguy, car number 92, stuck in lap traffic, having a hard time getting around Sean Angel, and now we have a competitor battling for the lead. It's Nathan Ormond in the 15. This is really impressive for Nathan Ormond. If you remember correctly, at Wilmot Speedway, that car was way off the pace, but just a change of scenery is going to improve things for Nathan Ormond. Still diving low. Michaels and Angel are battling it out between the two of them for that spot on the lead lap. Both of them are hoping for a caution. Finguy just can't get around Sean Angel, who's had a good car for most of the year. He's just been kind of mired back here in this event. Ormond still trying to get to the bottom, but Finguy's been able to get that momentum to the high side. I'm not sure about this time, as Angel really bogged it coming off that corner. Car number 18 diving low, 3 wide for the race lead. Can Nathan Ormond get something done? Still trying to get it done, as he's just trying to gun it past the 92. Jeffrey Finguy won't give it up too easily, but I think he may have it here. The 18 car diving low. And it looks like he's going to be able to get a little bit of ground this time by. Yeah, I think he can do it. Car number 7, Ruby Bragg, has hit lap traffic as well. She is currently in 5th place position, which is a great effort for this team, but if you look ahead, sorry, 6th place, as John Gambit is ahead of her now. But Maxwell Chan's there. You'll see right ahead of them. Look at that huge gap to Antivia Kingray, the next lap car, and then the top 4. Drivers in 5th, 6th, and the rest of the field are really hoping for a caution to try and get things back together. Though Ruby Bragg really can't be complaining right now. She's having a great effort today, along with a couple other drivers who were trying to get some good runs today. There's Takumi Hirano in the 74, and also there's John Gambit, as we mentioned. Car number 18, Nathan Ormond, leading for the first time of the season. Still battling with lap traffic. Started to pull away a little bit, but Jeffrey Finguy has reeled him back in. He's having a hard time getting by the 82 of Robert Piet, who's another one of those drivers that may be a wild card for the championship hunt if he can keep up some consistent runs. I'm not sure about it today, though. He seems to be struggling near the back of the pack. Nathan Norman just can't get by the 82 as Piet clings to the lead lap position. Finguy getting to the back bumper. DJ Curtis trying to get by the Brazilian of Gabriel Wanderley. And then a little further back, you'll see the 1 of William Brock as he's trying to keep up with the top 3. He's been sticking with them for most of this race. This is probably a career run for William Brock in the OxyClean machine. Orman's going to be able to get by the 82 of Piet, as we would have our first caution of the race. Antivia Kingray in the 23, doing very well in points. Engine just grenades on her, and that is unfortunate. She was a driver that we were expecting to do well, considering how well she did in Wilmot. Had a bad car all race long, and I think we know why. That engine had a terminal issue. Stalls on the racetrack, and they throw the caution at it. That's a little too close for comfort to have a car stopped up there on the racetrack. We had our pit stops for the race. They only needed to make 1 set of scheduled pit stops for the event. Most of your leaders are going to come down pit road as, look at all these lap cars are going to stay out. We mentioned that William Brock has bad luck. The pole sitter, who is running in 4th, loses an engine coming off pit road. Again, if it can happen, it's happened to William Brock this season. It's been a very bad year for the 1 machine, so unfortunately William Brock's going to pull out of the race, and that is going to be it for him. He comes to a stop on the back stretch. Oh, car number 47, Gabriel Wanderley, out of nowhere. I don't know what the 47 was doing. He just dive bombed him. Let's take another look at this. Yeah, he just dives it down. They didn't have any problems during the race. I don't know why he did that. I'm a little confused by that. Speaking of confusion, we had a bit of confusion on pit road, and a lot of cars ended up a lap down, including a lot of your leaders. And John Gambit ended up cycling out into the race lead. And as you can see on that bottom line, you see some drivers that were running up near the front, like DJ Curtis in the 33. But John Gambit in the 14 having a good run right now in the Foss marketing machine. Gambit's been pretty quiet this year, hasn't had a lot of breakthrough runs. I think he has 1 top 10 if I'm not mistaken. And right now he's letting quite a few cars go by on the inside line as he's trying to hang up there. Some drivers still staying up near the front, like the 33 and the 74 and the 92. We got a report on the 47 as he is having he had a mechanical issue. Look at this stack up 4 wide around a dirt track. This is insane racing as these drivers try to get things working. Cody Smart on the apron. Contact is made, and the 09 car goes spinning, collects Rim Hardigan. Now we're going to go under caution yet again. I don't know what Cody Smart was doing there. But as I was going to say, Wanderley had a mechanical issue which caused that wreck. Something went wrong with his steering. Let's take a look at what happened to Cody Smart. He had to make an unscheduled pit stop. Something went wrong, and that's probably one of the worst merging jobs I've ever seen. And Rim Hardigan was quite upset over the radio, throwing around a little bit of colorful language, as that's going to hurt the Australians race. He had high hopes for this one. Car number 54, Nathan Hood, was actually able to beat the 14 to the line. I don't know where he came from. He started near the tail end of the field, and somehow in that mess of cars was able to surpass the 14. I think he just edged them out coming to the line. Wasn't even sure if he was on the lead lap, but apparently he is. And Nathan Hood, who has had a lot of bad breaks this season, it's been a lot of unfortunate runs for the 54. Usually he's in the top 10 with a couple laps to go, and something happens to take him out of the race, but he's hoping that this can be an exception, as he currently battles up near the front, 121 laps into the show. Gambit's trying to chase him down. Sebastian Torres is trying to stay on the lead lap ahead of this group. He's going to see if he can catch a lucky caution. Here comes Rim Hardigan trying to get one of his couple laps back. Tyler Thaber is one lap down, but still in the top 20 trying to get a position back. As we have a bit of an issue on the 03. He seems to have reported that the thing is going dead, dying, and he's going to pull it off track. We also have reports that the 59 of Zachary Fitzwater Sr. had a mechanical issue as well. He would pull off as well. So it's been a race of attrition for these drivers, and we had quite a few mechanical failures. Spotlight on Takumi Hirano in the number 74. Won a race earlier this year at Jennerstown, but he's been very inconsistent. Got the pole at Wilmot, which is a dirt track, not something that he normally specializes in. Had an unfortunate wreck late in the event, went out of it. Was able to get a surprise win at Jennerstown, and then he went to the road course last week, which we thought he'd do pretty well at. Really struggled and had a mechanical failure, but it's good to see Takumi Hirano having a good run. Pass for the lead as John Gambit's going to get by Nathan Hood, and he will cycle back out into the race lead. Finn Guy's currently led the most laps so far. Gambit's hoping that he can surpass that total, get those 2 bonus points to help him in the championship hunt. Gambit's not too far out of striking distance. He could have an opportunity going forward. He just needs to have a consistent couple of weeks. He's going to re-lap the number 96 of Sebastian Torres in that Landa Hunt machine. And Gambit's going to start running away with it in car number 14. The yellow flag is out for the 3rd time today. Let's see what happened. So Nick Pericles was slow. I think he's got an issue. I think they're reporting a cylinder down. He tries to come down pit road to check it out, slides, and I think they got a little squirrely with the caution there. I'm surprised they threw it. The 8 saved it, but I think they were worried about him spinning out onto the racetrack like with the Cody Smart incident. Under caution, car number 14. What terrible luck. The 14, the race leader, is going to lose a motor. Unbelievable. This has been an insane event. We must be under a full moon tonight. First, the wind plaguing the racetrack earlier on, setting us back a couple hours for the start. Then we finally get started, lose the first 66 laps due to some higher winds. And now John Gambit goes from leading the race, looking at a potential victory, to looking at the garage area up close. That is a real unfortunate event to have taken place. As you see, I think Pericles is on pit road as well. But that's good news for Nathan Hood, who's going to cycle back out into the race lead, and Sebastian Torres, who's going to have another chance to stay ahead of this lead pack, see if he can get a lap back. There's Tyler Thaber in the 12. He also was able to get back onto the lead lap, trying to stay in position to maybe pick up some spots in the late going. They need a caution, however, to get that done, because they are way too far behind the rest of the field. But Nathan Hood out front, holding on to that race lead around the outside line. He lets a couple cars go on the inside, but he's giving Ron Oring a little bit of a challenge. Starting to pull ahead of that 74 and 88 combo. Also, there's another 74 car back there, and Brian Fox, who's cycled up out there out of nowhere. Good run for him so far. Hood's still hanging up near the front, but these lap cars are trying to get by. William Duncan in car number 6 currently sitting 10th right now as we head into the, what would be the final 3rd, I would believe, of the race. William Duncan's not had a good season. In fact, saying that is a bit of an understatement. It's been a pretty horrible season, mired by a couple penalties, including last week where he wrecked Sebastian Torres for real no discernible reason. William Duncan's hoping to bounce back, see if he can salvage a couple of points going to the late stages, but he is running out of time if he wants to try and make that top 21. He's mired at the bottom of the standings with William Brock and Grayson Acevedo. So we'll see if the number 6 machine can hang on to this top 10 as he battles with a couple of drivers up near the front like Alex Regal and Jeffrey Finguy. See if he can improve on that position. Finguy stuck to that outside lane. He may have some trouble there. behind the slightly damaged number 66 and Sean Angel, who was giving him problems early on in the event. Still running 3 wide. I am still amazed at how these drivers can hold on to these 3 wide scenarios and that 1 4 wide that we saw earlier in the event. But looks like William Duncan's going to get by just fine. Robert Piet, car number 82, the Flying Dutchman as he's so lovingly called, sits 7th on track right now. Just think about it. He was almost a lap down early in the going, but he had that lucky break with Antivia Kingray losing the motor at just the right time, was able to stay on the lead lap, was able to win out on pit stops, and from starting near the back of the pack, he's worked his way all the way up to the front. So, great job, Robert Piet. This is the kind of run he needs if he wants to compete for that championship, like we mentioned earlier. Tyler Thaber is currently behind him, so right now this is a good points day for the 82. He's got to hope that either Tyler Thaber falls back a little bit or he can gain a couple more spots, maybe even win this thing. Car number 54, Nathan Hood, keeps letting these lap cars go by, and I was wrong about Brian Fox. He actually was a lap down, my mistake. It's a little confusing on these starts. But Nathan Hood in number 54 has let 4 lap cars go, and he's really not been very competitive with them. I think he's worried about the lap cars ruining his race, like, you know, most other races this season where lap traffic has affected the outcome. Not sure if that's the best strategy, but I guess if you're playing the safe route, that's a good way to do it. Just, you know, these aren't the drivers that he's racing. He's racing the guys in the lead lap. So, you know, strategically, it's always good to have these lap cars behind you as a bit of a buffer to try and get by. But all these drivers trying to get their lap back, I can see why he doesn't want to battle with such desperate race car drivers. Car number 25, Rocco Twyman, has a bit of an issue on track. He went down a cylinder in the number 25 machine, and that really killed his race. He was running in the top 10 early on, but now he's several laps off the pace. He and Nick Pericles both had a cylinder problem. It's still amazing about how this track has caused so many mechanical issues. Probably a bit of rock and dirt getting up into those engines. Maybe that's affecting something, but it's a shame for Rocco Twyman, hoping to ride the momentum from Watkins Glen. Car number 88, the Puerto Rican Chris Dodd, is catching our race leader, Nathan Hood. This has been a career run for the 88. He's had a couple other decent runs throughout the year, but he hasn't been able to make anything happen. Tommy Turbo, his teammate, had a good run earlier in the year, and he was kind of playing back marker helper for the number 3. Unfortunately, it didn't work out. But right now, Chris Dodd currently shining on track as Short Track Ace is trying to get it done here. There's that crippled number 25 going yet another lap down. Nathan Hood still in the race lead, but the 88 machine is catching up. Oh, he sees a window. He's going low. The 54 can't bring it down all the way. The 88 car going for the pass coming out of turn number 2. Lap traffic ahead of these guys. The 54, I think, let too many cars go by. As now car number 88 sees an open window, and he's going to get by. I'm not sure if even like the 54 maybe has used up a bit of his equipment trying to stay out front. He had a pretty hefty lead for a while. Here comes the 54 with the crossover move, however. Dodd led at that time, the 54 going down low. Can he make something happen? Will Brian Fox be quick on the inside line? Tyler Thaber has been getting past the past couple of laps. I think he's been using up a little too much of his equipment trying to stay ahead of the lead cars. Oh, that's so close coming to the line. I love the way the momentum coming out of the corners plays a factor on the front stretch. But Nathan Hood's going to retake the lead away from Chris Dodd. Easy come, easy go. Dodd still trying it on the outside line. And Cole Baker in the number 20 Motec machine is going to try and throw his hat into the ring. Cole Baker's had a couple of good opportunities throughout the year. And he's trying to capitalize on that himself. As Cole Baker trying to catch up to Chris Dodd. Looks like Nathan Hood's going to relap the 12, put a little bit of a buffer, but that wouldn't last for long as Chris Dodd in the 88 goes underneath yet again a couple laps later. Lap 179, laps are starting to wind down as we're closing in on about 30-something to go, and Dodd's going to blow past him on the inside line that time around. A little bit of damage to that 54. I'm not sure if he got a little bit of contact on something. I think I see a little bit of a crumple to that back fender, but it's been a pretty rough race on all these machines. Chris Dodd in the 88 is going to steal the race lead. Oh, we got a caution. Is that the number 6 I see? It sure is, as caution will come out yet again, and This car says this car will break on the back. That is not false advertisement, I can tell you that. Car number 6 yet again having a problem. And from the top 10, easy come, easy go. William Duncan not going to gain a lot this point day. And just look at how dangerous this was, how close. Oh, Brian Fox in the 74 making a little bit of contact. We get a restart on lap 186. Chris Dodd in the race lead, followed by Nathan Hood, Cole Baker. That's Jeffrey Finguy in the 4th place position. He's been working his way up steadily. Dodd's going to get a good run. Thaber not able to get that lap back, but a couple of those other drivers were able to stay ahead, get that lap back. 3 wide for the race lead with 2 lap cars underneath the leader. These guys are desperate now. If they can catch a late caution, that could affect their finishing, or if they can make the top 10 or not, as only about 15 cars are on the lead lap. Keith Basson down low, Emmanuel Hartnett. There's Harry Salaba in the 36. That's a big deal for him because he's up in the championship hunt as well. Dodd stuck to that outside line. As we look back through the field, car number 43 is Troy McClure. You may remember him from the first 3 events of this year. The actor turned race car driver, having an excellent run out on track. As he's worked his way past a couple of top competitors, he now finds himself in the 2nd place position. As you can see, he's got a little bit of a ways to go. These are all lapped cars all the way up to that black and orange number 88. But Troy McClure, this is the run that he was hoping for. He did well at Wilmot for a little while, but ends up getting shuffled out of a winning position. But now look at this, he's got a good chance if he can just catch that 88 car. He's got a decent run on the inside line. See if Troy McClure can maybe challenge up front. Car number 92, Jeffrey Finguy, has been really trying to work his way through the field. He's going to work his way to the outside of Nathan Hood in the 54, who seems to have lost that momentum that he had earlier in the race. I say that as he goes with that underneath, but Jeffrey Finguy had a little bit of trouble in traffic. He was great out front, but once he got mired in all these lap cars, forget about it. But the 92 has been slowly working his way up to the front. If he can just catch a bit of clean air, which is hard to do at a dirt track, he can maybe challenge Chris Dodd for the lead. Has the most laps led and will capture that award already. No one can possibly beat him in that regard. But Finguy trying his hardest to get as good of a finish as he can. Tommy Turbo sits in the 15th place position. His teammates currently out front, and though 15th is not something you usually brag about, this team can be very happy if they can stay in these positions, that both cars have top 15 finishes and both cars finished on the lead lap. It seems to be a balancing act between the two. Usually if one car does bad, the other car does good. Well, this weekend, looks like both cars seem to have performed fairly well on racetrack. Car number 3 still hanging on to the back of the field. He's starting to lose that lead pack. He hasn't been the fastest car all weekend, but he's been able to stay on that lead lap and make something happen. A big story that we have to talk about is Sebastian Torres. Remember how we were talking about him trying to stay on the lead lap? Well, not only did he get his lap back, he's been whipping off some fast times. He's all the way up to 4th place on track. And now he's trying to battle with the number 82 of Robert Piet for 3rd. Takumi Hirano in the 74 is giving him a bit of a challenge too, but the young Colombian having a stellar event. He has quite the car today, but I'm not sure if he has enough time to catch up to Chris Dodd. Look at all those lap cars. 3 lap cars between the leader and Troy McClure. Then you have the lap car of Tyler Thaber, who has been noted to be the best car this season. Then you have another driver in that of Robert Piet. But very proud of this number 96 team, able to overcome adversity, get back on the lead lap, catch the cautions in the right place, and be able to compete for a podium position in the late stages of this event. However, no one could catch car number 8, Chris Dodd, going around for one final time. He's got a buffer of 3 lap cars behind him. Chris Dodd came out of fairly nowhere, and he's going to win here today at the Oswego Speedway. Congratulations to Chris Dodd on his first career HARC Series win. Well deserved by the 88 machine, as he was able to drive by some stiff competition. The Puerto Rican driver will be celebrating in victory lane today, that is for certain, as he put on a stellar performance. congratulations to Chris Dodd as all the cars make their way to pit road. The 88 car seems to have had a little bit of an issue there. 3, 2, 1. Chris Dodd was able to take the victory home today. Troy McClure, a spirited drive from the back of the pack to second place. Same for Robert Piet and Sebastian Torres in fourth. Takumi Hirano having a great run today, showing that dirt tracks are pretty much his specialty. He rounds out the top 5. Jeffrey Finguy in the 92 drops back to 6th place, but that's still an admirable run for the Michigan native. Nathan Hood in the 7, really lost it near the end, but hey, you can't complain. Normally he wrecks out of these races. 8th is Cole Baker with a solid run, followed by Alex Regao, who was pretty quiet today, but finishes in 9th. And running out the top 10, a solid run for the United Kingdom native, Ruby Bragg.